talk of the town going round.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Welcome to Talk of the Town, and where we're going to try to inform the citizens of Dunkirk about the topics and events happening here in the city of Dunkirk. I hope we find you healthy and happy. As you can see, we're still in the throes of COVID-19, so we're practicing social distancing today because we are going to be interviewing a member of the City of Dunkirk administration. And during the interview, I'll actually be off camera, but we'll have an interview with our Fiscal Affairs Officer for the City of Dunkirk, Marsha Beach. Marsha, in a past life, has over 30 years of accounting experience, and she was the CFO of a multi-million-dollar company. But she brought her skills here to the City of Dunkirk, and I'm going to try to pick her brain and see what she thinks about the different aspects of the budget that's just being presented to the city.
As Fiscal Affairs Officer, I'm responsible for all monies that leave the city, basically the accounts payable function and payroll function. I also am responsible for the audit at year end. And a big part of my job is to help prepare the budget for the mayor.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this job here in the city of Dunkirk?
I started back in 2017, so I think this is like my fourth budget process.
All right. So I guess we'll get right into it, and let's talk about the budget a little bit. First thing, is the budget balanced?
Yes, it is. The mayor proposed his balanced budget back in November, and the council, we went through all of the meetings with the councilmen, and they came forth with their changes to the budget, and that's where we're at right now. And the mayor did veto a few line items of their changes, so we're at that point where we're on the 15th, they'll be voting on the final budget.
Okay. And was there any tax increases in the budget, or did
No,
it just about stay the same?
There wasn't a tax increase. We did, however, increase our tipping fee. That was something that we realized very early in the process that we would have to do something. And in the general fund, there's really two major ways we can increase our revenue, and that's raising taxes or increasing our tipping fee. And the mayor had asked Mark Woods and I to sit down and to really analyze our tipping fee and all the costs associated with it. And we did that and realized that we were way under on our revenue. Okay. So we came back to the mayor with that recommendation that we would increase tipping fee $13 a quarter or $52 a year, which really only amounts to $1 a week. And we felt that was really the fairest increase that we could do as opposed to raising taxes. It's much less, and it also affects everyone across the board.
Yeah, and it's equal as well too. So it's not
Correct.
Based on an interest of what your house is assessed and all that other stuff.
Right. And even not for profits and basically everyone is going to have this increase. So it's a really fair way to reduce our deficit and balance our budget.
Okay. And for those who aren't familiar with what a tipping fee is that's on your water bill, or how is that?
Yes, it is. That's basically for your trash pickup.
Okay. All right. So other things that maybe have changed or there was questions about in the budget. Here there's something to do with the law department. Do you want to talk about maybe some things that were suggested?
Sure. Well, one of the items that the council put forth was to reduce our city attorney's salary from $70,000 to $45,000. Now, he actually earns $62,000, but the mayor always had in the budget a little bit higher in case our city attorney would happen to leave or something, he would have then $70,000 to go out and try to find, another attorney. He did ask me to do some research, the mayor did, and I did. It was very interesting what I found out, and this is per ZipRecruiter, okay? The average salary for a city attorney in Dunkirk, New York, with 5+ years experience is $81,370. Now that same attorney with the same experience and is also bilingual, his average salary would be $92,695. So really our current city attorney is working for over $30,000 less than the city average. Now, I think that is saving taxpayer dollars.
All right. So just to clarify, the $70,000 that was proposed by the mayor isn't the actual wage that the lawyer was getting, or the attorney was getting.
He's actually making $62,000. The $8,000 was put in there as a safeguard if the mayor did have to go out and hire another attorney. It would be difficult just based on the averages I just quoted to you. It would be difficult to hire someone even at 70.
Yeah.
But
so it's not money that's going to necessarily be spent.
no, not at all.
Okay. Another question that's been brought up about the budget is the economic development office, and there's been some changes that were suggested. What were those changes?
Well, the council basically eliminated our 3 part-time summer help positions. Now, when the mayor proposed his budget, he had already eliminated our special events coordinator position. Okay, so really we had those 3 part-timers budgeted for, and they are proposing we take that out. Now, I really disagree with that because I don't know how we could possibly run the festivals and the Thursday night on the pier, with basically no help. Those 3 positions have just historically been offered to college students around the area as internships, to basically help them fulfill a requirement of their graduation. And taking those away is not only hurting, potentially some college students around here, but it's also just eliminating all of the help that we had scheduled for the Thursday night on the pier.
Right. So if the Economic Development Department needs help now, if this budget goes through with the elimination of the part-times, what are they going to have to do for just setup of chairs and tents and things like that?
Well, I'm afraid they'll have to use the streets and parks personnel, and of course that would be overtime rate. So I'm afraid it's going to cost us a great deal more, unless they have something planned that I'm not aware of. I do know they're going to perhaps do some sort of position with the special events coordinator, some sort of position they're talking about, but I'm worried that we just won't have enough help because it does take a great deal of hours, to pull those events off.
I think we've covered the economic development section. There was also questions about the DLDC. Now that's the okay, and what exactly does that do?
Each year, we actually have transferred a lot of our city properties over to the DLDC. There's advantages to doing that. It's much easier to sell a property that's in the DLDC as opposed to being held by the city.
All right. So with the DLDC, what exact monies are received in the budget from the city to the DLDC?
Okay, each year we have an allotment for the DLDC. Now, we had budgeted $45,000 in the proposed budget. Now they're suggesting that we take that out. And what that is for is $30,000 of the 45 is just strictly for the fireworks, the 4th of July fireworks. And the other 15 takes care of taxes, insurance, and the audit, repairs and maintenance on properties. So by taking that out, they basically have eliminated the fireworks as far as I'm concerned. And then also, if the DLDC does not have the monies to pay the taxes on those properties, I mean, we could look at them going into foreclosure.
And that would come from the county, basically.
Right. And I know there's a question, there was some news article printed that we had the 30,000 in the DLDC. And I explained last night, we had a DLDC meeting, and I went over that. We did
And this
not
would be
have-
from the fireworks that we didn't have last year.
Right. Since we didn't have them, we obviously did not move those funds over to the DLDC. So they do not have those funds. And at the end of the year, they won't be used, and we'll start our new budget. And right as we stand now, we don't have any monies for the fireworks or the additional 15,000 for the DLDC responsibilities.
So that money doesn't go from one year to another when
No,
you're
it
talking
doesn't.
allotments.
No, it
It's-
doesn't.
It's either there or
It
it's not.
stops and the whole new budget starts over.
Okay. Okay, Marsha, we started off with the tipping fee, and I kind of want to go back to that. We here in the city are pretty lucky that the city actually picks up our garbage for us every week, and we don't have, any type of limits on how much garbage we can put out every week and that type of thing. But a lot of places in Chautauqua County, they actually have to pay a private company to, the individual citizens have to pay a private company to come and pick up their garbage. So we're lucky here in the city that we don't have to do that. Did you do any type of research on how much that actually costs each year, and what? Do you have any more information on that?
Yes, I did do an analysis, and actually I have it here with me. And I really want our residents to understand just what all is involved. And it's not just our employees' base salaries. It's things like their health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, flex benefits, New York State retirement, their stipend for having their CDL license, Social Security match, workman's comp, unemployment insurance, disability, equipment, which includes a new garbage truck, because our garbage truck right now, one of them is actually out of service, and we're having to rent a garbage truck right now. So we're looking at buying a new garbage truck next year. Supplies, fuel, repair and maintenance for the garbage trucks, contracted services, recycling costs, and admin costs. I totaled it up for next year to be about $1.2 million. So you can see, we really didn't raise the tipping fee any more than what we absolutely had to, because with our new revenue increase, it's $1,120,000. So we really just did the absolute minimum that we needed to do.
So that tipping fee basically covers almost what
Almost everything that it costs us. We just were at a point where we couldn't absorb any more of the increases.
And just to be clear, when we're talking about a new garbage truck, someone might say, well, why don't we use some of this money that they're cutting for that? When you talk about allotments, say for like the DLDC, could we use that allotment for a new truck?
No, not really, because that allotment, as I explained before, is for very specific things, like the 30,000 for the fireworks and the 15,000 for the taxes, insurance, and audit for the DLDC. So really, we can't use any of that.
So the
For
allotment
anything
has to be asked for and then given by you, because you have
Right.
all of the monies
Right.
go out, whereas
Right.
Mark has all of the money that comes in. So so there's no way that we could use if we don't use that allotment for the say the fireworks don't happen again this year.
Well, we could,
Where's that money go?
it would be up to the council to possibly move those funds. They have the power to move it to a different line item in the budget. And if we do, decide we need something else like trucks or something for the streets, they do have the power to move those funds, and we could request that, or they could request that.
But it would have to go
It
with
would have
the
to pass.
it would have to pass that, and then again you're wondering where to get the money for the taxes and for the fireworks
Right.
and all
Right.
of all
The
of that would come
15,000
from the
is not going to
DLDC.
go away, COVID or no COVID.
Yeah.
So we definitely, need to have those funds, that piece of the allotment definitely needs to happen next year.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about the budget as far as things that you found out this year that are different than years in the past, or is it pretty much as a basic budget that?
Oh, it's pretty much the same. I mean, we work really hard on it. I mean, the mayor's, very proud of it. I don't know if people really realize the work involved in preparing that budget. We basically, I do a lot of preliminary work along with Mark Woods, and then we present that to the mayor, and then we will go through it line by line 4 and 5 times. Mm-hmm. Every department, has their must-haves, their needs, and their wants. So the mayor always tries to accommodate everyone and get them, of course, at least their must-haves, but tries to get them their wants as well.
Yeah.
But
and that's going to be tough this year with
very tough.
Yeah, with a lot of the
Very
COVID-19 problems, the lack of revenue coming in,
Right.
people having problems, and so yeah. All right. Anything else you'd like to add about this year's process?
I don't think so. I think it went well, and I'll be anxious for it to get approved and move on to the audit.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Well, thank you so much, Marsha, for being here. We appreciate your hard work and all the hours that you put in the budget and everything else that you do. And have a great rest of the week, and thanks a lot.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Well, that ends our episode about the budget process and how it works. It's basically the same thing every year. It's presented in October. The cool thing about the budget is it's available to the citizens. Any citizen can come into the clerk's office and request a copy of the budget. Beware, it's pretty thick. But you can go through it line by line and see what the proposal is and see exactly how that process works. The same thing with the DLDC. That is also, all of their financials are available to the public, and also the meetings of the budget and of the DLDC are always public, and you can sit in on any of those meetings because they are considered something that the citizens should have access to. So that being said, happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone has a safe and healthy New Year, and hope to see you soon. This is Mike Civiletto for Talk of the Town.
Wait for rain to come down. Wait for rain all year round. It's the talk of the town.